Okay, so good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, which means it is team training call night. It's Thursday, the 22nd of what month? March. We're in the month of March still. So tonight, as I said, we're going to go through a bit of a Q&A session. Every week that we've got a different speaker on. Does anyone know how to use like an iPhone watch? Because mine just keeps going off. So every week we're going to have a different speaker on. Next week we've got Anne Ralston on, the wife of the president. And I'm sure I've told you this anyway, but the rota for the month of right there, Helen. The rota for the month of April, we've got Tony Lander on for the first week talking about compliance. The second week, we've got Tanner Johnson, who's the VP of Sales and Marketing. The third week, we've got Becky Mitchell. And the fourth week, we have got... What's his name? Steve Birch, the winemaker. Can everyone else hear me? Yeah, perfect.
Hi.
There you go, perfect.
There's no sound.
I can hear you, Keith. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a few things that I've written down myself. As I said, Helen sent me a few questions that I'm going to talk about again, and then what I'll do is I'll open it up, and I've got it on the grid tonight. So anyone that's got any questions that they want to ask, then feel free to ask. I am using my phone for notes and whatever else because I'm out of the house. But one thing I'm going to start with is some of the objections that we come across. And one of the biggest things with a network marketing company is the fact that I can't afford it. I've got no money. I don't have enough money to start. And basically, I'm going to read what I've got here and what I've found and like the research that I've done. And there's a few answers there. And answer A, and as I said, this is recorded, so pass it out to your teams, rewatch it if you need to. But this is the kind of like posture and stature and responses that you can go back to people that give you these answers yourself. But it says, I can appreciate that. Tell me how many years you have been in the workforce. Is it 15? Is it 20? Question mark. So you mean to tell me you've been in the workforce for X amount of years, and what you're saying is that you don't have the £200 in our case to invest in a business that could create true wealth in the next 3 to 6 months. Like, how does that feel? The second option, it says, or the following bit is, isn't that the exact same reason you should be looking at doing something about it? Something unique, something out of the box, and something that you actually own yourself. And then the third answer is, let me ask you this. If your hot water heater, refrigerator, furnace, tyres on the car, whatever, were to give out and you was required to find £200 to replace it immediately, how long would it take you to find the money? So
the question is, I can't afford to get into direct sellers. I can't afford to get into network marketing.
Yeah.
And these are the responses.
Yeah. So for the people that are saying to you, like, I can't afford it, sit down with them, take some time going through it and work out like what their expenses are. Because I'm pretty certain that takeaways and a night out at the pub on a Friday night, or, like I worked out recently that I spent a lot of money on literally like nothing. And it wasn't until I sat down, went through my bank statements and worked it out that even the money that I was paying out for crap, basically, that was enough money that I could have used to invest into a network marketing company. So there's a few responses on money. The next one is I don't have the time. So again, when it comes to network marketing, the two biggest reasons why people don't do it is time and money. So I've just given you like a few examples for time. Now, for money. Here's a few for time. So what is your short-term plan to overcome the situation and your long-term plan? So you're asking someone like what their goals are. If I could show you how you could begin leveraging your time off the efforts of a marketing team that I will assist you with building, would it be worth your time to have a serious look? And then if you continue doing what you're doing, how long will it be for you to get your time back? So there's a few instances. Another one.
Can I give you an example that we had when we were in Las Vegas?
Yeah, go for it.
Cherie Leisure is Cherie and Derek.
Yep.
They're the 5th highest earners in the company, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. And Cherie said that she when she heard about direct sellers, she knew she wanted to get involved, but she didn't have any time. So she said, I'm going to get up on next Monday morning and I'm going to diarise my time for a full week to actually see where I can give up some time to work on direct sellers. And what she found was that there's an hourly show that she watched every night, about 9 o'clock, 1 hour every night. And she said, I don't need to see that show. It's my favourite show, but I'm going to give it up. And that's where she found her time. And we were having that same conversation this evening, weren't we?
Yeah.
People, if you're actually have got a strong enough why, you will find the time to actually do this, I think.
Great point. Another one, it says, do you enjoy having no time? Do you enjoy what you are doing that leaves you with no time? If I could show you an exit strategy to that situation, would you take a serious look? And the last one, do you feel like life is not your own? When will you be ready to take your life back? I can show you a way. So there's a few examples of like time and money, and without looking at my phone and going into other examples, with regards to time, again, something that we was talking about tonight, there's 168 hours in a week, like every single week. That does not change. And if you worked out with yourselves and if you worked out with someone else how many hours that you're at work for, so let's say the average person works full time, which is 40 hours a week. Let's say that the average person gets 7 hours sleep a night, which is 56 hours sleep a night. I think 49 hours sleep a week. So that's now 89 hours from work and sleep. So they're the two biggest obstacles that we need to overcome. But yet that still leaves, let's work out what my maths is like. That still works out with 79 hours a week to spare. So, I've said it and some of the other leaders have said it before. You can build a good network marketing business in 10 hours a week. You can build a great network marketing business with 20 hours per week. And if you divide 20 by 7, that's 3 hours a day. Now that could be 1 hour in the morning, that could be 1 hour in the afternoon, and that could be 1 hour in the evening. Now we all know like how quickly it takes to send a text message. So, your power hour in the morning, for example, you could go through all your social media platforms. You could send out a load of text messages on your phone. You could go through like LinkedIn, back onto Facebook. You could literally write A's, B's and C's. I'm going to send them a message today. Morning, hope you're doing well. Have a great day. How's life treating you? And you could do that for X amount of days, just A's, B's, C's, D's, E's, and work through the alphabet. So never, ever, ever let someone tell you that they've got no time. When I had done my first network marketing company, I was up at 3:30 every morning. I was on a train at 3:45. I started work in London at 6. I worked flat out as a fitness manager and personal training from 6 till 2. I got back to Crawley for about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I had clients every night at 5, 6 and 7. I had a boot camp at 8, and then I'd done my network marketing company, like my business at the end of the day. And I still managed to retire myself from full-time work within the first 12 months. So as Helen said, it all comes back to your why. It all comes back to how bad you want it, how strong it is, how passionate you are, but don't compare your life to someone else's. And what I mean by that is if you do work full-time, then find your pockets. Find like 20 minutes at lunchtime, find an hour after work, find an hour in the evening, because you're not going to be able to do as much work if you're working full-time than if someone's working part-time. And the person that's working part-time will be able to create less time than the person, like for me, for example, that now does this pretty much full-time. So it's all dependent on what you want to do, where you want to go with it, and how you want to achieve like the goals that you've set yourself. So with regards to time, there is no problem at all. We can always find time with someone else. And again, if you're sitting down with someone, go through their daily schedule with them. Right, what time do you wake up? 7 o'clock. What time do you go to bed? Like 9 o'clock. Right, let's fill in the gaps. Right, I work from 9 till 5. Okay, great. So what do you do from 5 till 6? Well, I come home, I'll chill out for a little bit. Okay, cool. What do you do from after that to then going to bed? Well, I have my dinner and then I watch telly. Right, well, there's an hour and a half that we can find to help you change the current situation that you're in, because you've just told me that you don't like the life you're in. You've told me it's like Groundhog Day. You told me that you're you're working all the hours under the sun. You're underpaid for the hours that you do. You've got no time. You feel like you're going to be working for the next 40 years and you're not going to get anywhere. But you've also just told me that once you've had your dinner, you've then got that time to do something. So this is what we're going to do. So that, time for me has never been something that I would ever use as an excuse. But then neither is money. And I know, yes, it's £200 to invest into our business. We know that. And yes, £200 to the majority of people is a lot of money to invest. Yes, we know that as well. But compare it to a conventional business, it is minute. It is absolutely tiny. And if you work out how much money you spend on a weekly basis, whether it's going down to the shops, whether it's, going out to the cinema during the week, whether it's going out on a Friday night, whether it's, whatever it is, a little task that we can all do, from Monday to Sunday, the following week, write down what you spend when you're out and about, not your direct debits or your standing orders or anything like that. But every time that you go out and you physically spend money from next Monday to Sunday, work out how much you spend. And I guarantee you the majority of people would spend more than 50 quid. Times that by 4, you've got an investment pack. So again, in terms of conversations and setting up and, getting people ready to go, that is another great example. So back to my questions, because I am cautious of time and I do rabbit on. So Helen's wrote me a load of questions. So one of them, and again, I've heard this numerous times, and it's so boring. It sounds like a pyramid to me. So my biggest comeback to anyone with that is I ask them who they work for, and then I say to them, right, show me your organisational tree. And they kind of write that there, and then you draw it out, and it is the pyramid. The government in the UK is the biggest pyramid scheme out there, like fact, period, whatever. So if you've got someone that's asking you that, show them your back office, show them like your business centre, show them how they make money, how you make money. So again, in terms of a pyramid scheme, it's 2018. That is what it boils down to. So that's always been my response, is the fact that the government in our country is the biggest pyramid scheme out there. Next question. I really don't like the thought of earning money for getting distributors on board. So again, some people think that they're having to sell something to somebody, and again, I've had responses today. So what do you do? Sell wine? No, we sell subscriptions, we sell memberships, we sell like a premium wine club where you pay a certain amount of money to get involved. With that money, you get your own website, you get your own access to training materials, you get your own back office. You can, work with like-minded people, motivated people, inspiring people. If you know 3 people that that like drinking wine, then your wine's for free. And if that's the conversation that you're comfortable with to start off with, keep it like that. If you want to, if you're happy talking to people about just getting free wine, then build a customer business up. See how many customers that you can get. Let them try the wine for a few months, because we all know that once they're in the business, they're in the business. Then you can go back to them 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months down the line. Look, I know you've been trying the wine for a good few months now. How's it going? I absolutely love it. Right, I need to show you something. Right, here's you. Look how many people have joined the business since you've joined. Wow, well, what does that mean? Well, we know, like, we're having conversations in the past that you've told me that I'd love to make an additional £200 a month. Well, if you invest into becoming a business partner, you've already got 10, 20, 30 people underneath your business that you could earn a residual income off. Do you know 2 people that like making money, that need to make more money, that enjoy drinking wine? Well, yeah, of course I do. Well, as long as you've got 2 people in there, you can then start earning a business. Like, you can start earning money from it. And the other way is the fact that, I spoke to a lady today that I enrolled Tuesday from Australia, and I sent her a message today, and I said to her, do you know there's already 21 people in your downline? And that's from Tuesday to tonight. So the power of the binary is absolutely frightening. So that is that question. As I said, I am like ripping through it a little bit. Don't have the time to talk about it. I couldn't do what you do. trust me I am nothing special. Like Tara would vouch for that. I don't know where she is. Yeah, there she is. I am nothing special. I got into the fitness industry because I love helping people. I love getting a result for other people. I got involved with network marketing because I love working with people. You know, for me, it just followed on. And my initial goal with this was, and I said this tonight in the meeting, my initial goal with this was to make an extra £500 a month where I could pay my half of the mortgage towards our house. Last year, it turned out that the money that we made from direct sellers paid for half of our wedding. Now, my goals are how many... No. Now, my goal is how many other people can I help to make £500 a month? How many other people can I help to make £1,000 a month? How many other people can I help pay like half of their wedding off for? So, you know, if someone ever says to you, yeah, I'd love to do it, but I can't do what you do. Why? Like, why can't you do what? Well, I haven't got the time. And again, it goes back to that conversation that we spoke about before. Like, I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't going to bed until 11 o'clock at night. I now work more hours than I've probably ever done. Becky and Steve, it paid for our honeymoon. There you go. I've never worked more hours than I currently do right now, but it's because I'm doing it to help us, as in like you guys and everything that we've got going on at the moment. So what you'll find is that, yeah, you can give up job at any point, but you'll find that you'll have to work more, but you're hungry because you're hungry to help other people succeed. Rather than if you're working in a job for someone else, you know, you're not really going to be hungry to earn money for someone else. Do you know what I mean? So that is that one. I don't know people that pay that price for their wine. So again, a lot of people at the moment, they will come back, well, it's too expensive. Well, the first comeback is, well, how expensive is free? You know, we all know 3 people that like drinking wine. So my response has always been, well, you tell me where else you can get 6 bottles of wine sent to your door for £6, because that's how much shipping is in the UK, £6. And I bet your bottom dollar that these people that say that, when they go out for dinner in a restaurant, they'll quite happily pay £15 for a bottle of wine plus, or they'll quite happily pay £4, £5, £6, £8, £10 for a glass of wine as well. You know, up in London, you won't be able to get much change from a tenner for a glass of wine easily. So don't let anyone ever tell you that the wine's too expensive, because again, all these conversations interlink to each other. Okay, that's fine. But you've told me that you need to make a change in your life. You've told me that you need to make a difference in your life. You've told me that you need to make an extra £200 a month in order to get yourself out of the trouble that you're in. You're already saying to me that the wine's too expensive. Do you know 3 people that drink wine? Yes, I do. Right, invite them around to your house, get them to try the wine, and then let them decide if they want to become customers. Do you know people that need to make more money like you got to do? Yes, of course I do. Right, invite them round to your house, get them to try the wine, go for a few videos with them, explain what the business is like, invite your upline round as well so you can edify your upline and let your upline do the talking for you. Can you do that? Yes, of course I can. So again, that kind of gets rid of the whole price comparison bit. And then the last one from Helen before I open it up, I would love to, but I'm already in another network marketing company. Brilliant, perfect. So you understand network marketing, you understand how the compensation plan works, you understand that you can make residual income. What industry are you in at the moment? 98% of people will either say health and wellness or skincare. Okay, brilliant. Have you heard of a wine network marketing company? No, but if there ever was one, I'd love to do it. Well, luckily enough, there is now. And the good thing is we know we are allowed to do more than one. You know, they've been very open with that with us from the beginning. They've said to us that if you want to do 2, you can do, but do not cross recruit. And the good thing about this is, because it's not another pill, potion, shake, lotion, you know, we are completely out on our own with this. Brad, speak up, please. Thank you. So, you know, we're out on our own. There's no education. There's none of this. There's none of that. If you're doing it, great. Sorry, I'm just going to see if I can mute that person out. Yeah, so they're the questions that I wrote down, and they're the questions that Helen wrote. Has anyone got any questions? Jerry, bear with me a second. Go for it.
Okay, so Paul and I have a couple of different people that we've been talking to for quite a while. And I feel like I'm stalking her, the girl. She said, I want to join, I'm going to join. I just can't get her to do it. And it's a similar thing with Paul. His potential client has always got an excuse. But at the end of the day, they say that they're interested. So, do you kind of like persevere, give them more time, follow up later? What would you advise how you handle that one?
I would go back to them and I'd get on the phone with them and I'd say to them, look, we know we've been having conversations backwards and forwards. I know that you're interested. You're probably busy now, like a lot of people are, but does X time on X date suit you where we can sit down and get you started? And literally, because a lot of the time I think it's the British culture. We're so, well, you let me know, if it suits
Yeah.
you, but if you say to them, right, how does Wednesday at 4 suit you? Or give them a day and give them a couple of times. Right,
That's what I've already done that with the girl, and when I've called her, then she doesn't answer, and then she'll message me to say she's still at work, and so I've said, okay, what time do you expect to be home?
Yeah.
And I still, and this is how it is all the time, and I'm thinking, am I doing something wrong? I don't think I am, but shall I give her some space? I don't know.
I mean, if you've tried that and she's doing that, then I would say to her, you come back to me when you're ready then. And then,
Yeah.
A couple of days later, you post on like social media. I can't believe how busy I can't believe the growth of our business at the moment. X amount of people have joined our company this week, and let her look at it, because we all know that in the UK, there's so many people watching what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And on the train on the way up here today, like Zoe was in the gym, and the amount of people that we both know, oh, how much money is Paul making at the moment? How well is Paul doing? It's because they're waiting for people to fail. And so,
they're envious.
Yeah, but you can't, it's that whole, you can't want someone more for them wanting it for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've given them an option of, right, I'm free on Wednesday afternoon, I can do 3 or 4. Well, none of those times suit me. Okay, what about Friday at 7 or 8? None of those times suit me. Well, this obviously is not that important to you. If I've just given you 4 different times on 2 different dates and you can't make it, how about you come back to me when you're ready, because I'm busy at the moment, like expanding my business, and put it back onto them.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you literally have just got to love and leave people and let them come back to you. And if they don't come back to you, then let them watch you succeed.
That was my philosophy, to think, well, maybe they aren't right. They're not a right fit for me, as opposed to me being a fit for them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I just kind of wanted to know I was on the right track, really, because I don't want to feel like I'm stalking people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not. I'm too busy doing other things. I have too many other people to.
Yeah, keep them on your list. Obviously, keep them on your list.
Yeah.
Put it down that you've spoken to them on such and such a date, and then maybe a month later, go back to them, see if they're still interested. But then you can say to them, "No, I'm not being like, I don't mean to put you down or anything, but if you join when you did, you've missed out on X amount of people coming into your business."
I would go back after a month and I would say, sorry, I haven't been checking up on you. I've been really, really busy. I know you were interested last month. Are you still interested now?
Yeah.
Like a month off. Because someone like that, to me, once it's signed up, would probably be quite hard work as well.
Yeah, you'll end up.
Yes, I know, and that's my problem. I don't want to be recruiting, if you want to use a better word, people that seem really interested, join up, and then haven't done anything, and then say, well, it's too hard.
Yeah.
You're trying to help people, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah. Sometimes you've got to work for longer to get the right people than work and get the wrong people in.
Yeah.
The mistake that I've made. I got a lot of people in very early on, but the amount of people that said to me, "Well, when are you going to put 2 in?" Well, that's your job.
Yeah.
I do not build your business. And we had a call the other day, and some people just can't grasp the concept of how this works. It is 2 legs. Timing and positioning is everything at this.
Paul put a person in. This is like just so relevant. Paul put a person in within your first 9, wasn't it? So it was really early on. She's been in since just after me and Zoe. And you asked him, so it was when we started doing the events after November, and we asked him to use one of his venues, didn't we? And he said, you can, but you promised me you would put people in my team. And I looked at Paul and I thought, where have you put this guy in your team if he's got no one in his team? So I went in my back office, because I'm one down from Paul, and I counted down every single person in his downline, and he had 210 people in his downline. He hadn't put anyone in. It was all overspill from Paul and whoever Paul's put in and over the top of us. And I said to Paul, go back to him and tell him there's 210 people in his team. And he was like, but this guy wanted Paul to bring people to him and let him sign them up as his own. I said, well, you don't even do that for me. You've never done that for me. You know?
Yeah.
But this guy,
Yeah.
so flippant, wasn't he? He hasn't been on one training call. He hasn't done anything. But when are you going to put people in my business? And I was like, oh.
Just, Jodie, cross-recruiting, basically, if I was to leave Direct Sellers and if I was to go and join another company and I then come back and kind of recruited you from Direct Sellers into this new company, that's cross-recruiting, basically. Has anyone else got any questions that they would like to ask?
Yeah, Paul, something else, all right, mate?
Hello, Anthony. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Maybe just another quick point on maybe Jerry's question there was the fact that sometimes it's good to hear somebody else's voice as well, Jerry, maybe. So maybe edify maybe somebody else and just say, look, whatever questions you need answering, let's get them answered. And coming from somebody else might be the answer they need. So it could be an option. My question to you, Paul, is if somebody had piqued their interest and they wanted to know a little bit more information, what would you send them now? Would you send them like the 2-minute overview video? Would you send them now directly to the website because it's so cool now? What would your first exposure be after you've piqued their interest?
Yeah, I use the website now. So if you've not recently been into the website, on the left-hand side, there's a join button. If you click the join button, it gives you the option of like a hyperlink, which you can send someone if they're ready to sign up. Or at the bottom, if it gives you a box, if you put their email address in, send that to them, they then get an email, and in the email is a welcome email from Direct Sellers, but then there's a little bit halfway down that says watch video. That watch video is the 2-minute video, so they can watch the intro video. Then if they're happy, they can go back into the email, go down to the bottom, they can click join now, which takes them to your website. And obviously at the website, get them to click on opportunity. They can go through the company, they can go through the compensation plan, they can see everything that they want to see, and then they can come back to you to ask questions. So rather than at the beginning where I remember I kept texting you for the link and whatever else, now everything is so simple for us to use. For anyone that's got Australian contacts, there's a video that we're using over there at the moment, so I'm more than happy to send that out to everyone. But yeah, that's the way that I'm doing it at the moment, is just sending an email out using my back office.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's simple and duplicatable then to tell all the new team members and the team we've already got then. Yeah, fantastic. Cheers, Paul.
Absolutely. Anybody else got any more questions? I'll take 2 more if we've got any more. If not, we have done very well for timing.
How much time do you think you can need to spend to build a reasonable business?
10 hours a week.
10 hours a week.
That is what Austin's always said. That's what Nina's always said. That's what Tara Wilson said on the training call. I think that if you've got 10 hours a week, you could do very, very well with this. And every single person can make 10 hours a week to make a change in their life. Like, easily. And again, you know, a lot of this information tonight all links back to itself. 10 hours a week, right? What's your goal? Well, my goal is to do this. Why? Why? You know, the further you get into your why, the stronger you can hold on to what you want to do. And, you know, we've said it a lot recently, if your why should make you cry. And once you hit that emotional attachment to your why, hold on with it, you know, lock it into place, and then do what you need to go and do. You know, there's a lot of people in here now that are committed, they're loyal, but they found their why. They know what they need to do, and they know why they need to do it. And I think once you know that you've got to do something, or once you know that you're so passionate about making that change, then you'll be surprised with how much spare time you can have. And yeah, you know, be productive for the 10 hours. So, you know, that doesn't always mean that for 10 hours you're on the phone, you're texting. In that 10 hours, use it to watch videos, watch live video, read, listen. You know, it's all, personal development is a massive, massive thing, like huge thing. And I've said it before on calls. I've only really got into my own personal development since being involved with direct sellers, and it's made a massive difference to me. Elaine, how many times would you contact someone if you have no response?
Anthony always says, I keep contacting them until they say no.
Yeah. If they're not replying at all, once every couple of weeks, once every month, just touching base. I know that you're as interested in the business. Have you changed your mind? Have you know, are you ready to go? When can we get you on a call? Yeah, I mean, again, you know, the whole coming back, you can't want something more for someone than they want it for themselves. You just keep going on to the next one, find a new one, get them started, go through the training with them, get them their free customers, stop their auto ship coming out, find business partners, unlock the keys to start getting paid, duplicate that with the newest person, go through the training system, get them their free customers, get them their 2 business partners, and start duplicating. Because, you know, starting from the bottom, you're building solid foundations. And if you work out and you work with the people at the bottom, and you know, mollycoddle, and you look after the people at the bottom, the top takes care of itself. If you're only interested in what you're doing at the top, you know, the bottom is just going to crumble. Get them on a call, Elaine, really. You know, nobody responds to it. If you've got their contact number, get them on a call, and get a 3-way lined up. You know, myself, Raz, Ben, anyone like that. There's some script work actually I've got for calls. I'll send you guys. Well, I'll send it all, but I've got some scripts for leaving answer machine messages. Yeah, Jodie, try the voice. Yeah, or the voice messenger on Facebook. Go onto Facebook, go into Messenger, and just send them a voice note. Because one thing, I was doing Instagram training. I've been doing it quite a lot recently, but how, like, the percentage of people, if you was on an emailing list, for example, the percentage of people that actually open their emails and action it is very, very small. However, if you send a voice note to someone, the people that listen to it is going to be very, very high. So definitely go more voice note, because again, there you can hear the excitement in your voice, the passion in your voice. It's very easy to send a text message. It's very easy to send an email, and it's very easy. You know, we don't know if they're going to spam or if they're going into their junk folder. So again, that's why they not pick it up. But I'll send you guys some script stuff of what to say when it goes to answer machine as well. Right, one more question, and then we've got to go because I've got to get back. Anyone got any more questions? No? Jodie, have you, or are you happy? You have. Right, hold on. 1 sec. Technology is not my strong point. Right, there you go. No, I haven't. Hold on. 1 sec. Thought I'd done it then. Terrible it is. Right,
Okay.
go for it.
Got me?
Got ya.
How does the new, I think it's GDPR, the new update to data protection, how's that going to affect people who are using mailing lists?
Funnily enough, myself and Helen were due to go on a course tomorrow for exactly that. For those of you that don't know it, we'll come back to you with it on another call. But it's all to do with updating data protection law. So we are going to speak to Tony about it, and we're going to put something in place. So yeah, Helen's been.
Surely that will affect a lot of people, because if they use mailing lists,
yeah,
they're not going to be able to use their mailing list.
Well, they will be able to use mailing lists.
Okay.
It's about getting consent. basically.
Yeah.
General
So you have to go basically to all that mailing list and ask,
through
can I
everyone.
use your
You've got a
details?
database of 1,000 people. You've got to reconnect with those people, and you've got to ask them if it's okay for you to send them information. You've got to be very specific about what information you send them. So can I send them newsletters about direct sellers? Can I send you information about wine tastings? Can I send you offers and promotions? Can I send whatever it is? You've got to be very specific, and they can opt in or opt out to all of those.
Okay.
In addition, and we're all individually responsible because we're all sole traders, we all have the same responsibility. It doesn't matter what size of business we've got. We have to store all of that data confidentially. So if you've got something written down on a bit of paper, that's not allowed anymore. You have to store it in a database and in the
So
cloud.
that will affect if people are going to start using MailChimp and start getting into the automated system. It's going to affect all of that, won't it?
Correct. I mean, MailChimp is very good. Does this apply across the globe? No, this is European wide. So this is a European directive, which, although we're coming out of the European Union, the British government has said they will comply with. It's already European wide. We're the only country that hasn't fully adopted it, and it's going to come into place by the 25th of May. Now, the chances are they're not going to come down hard on businesses like us. They're going to hit the really big boys first of all if there are issues. But you can be personally prosecuted if there is a breach. So, for example, if you send one email to somebody and they have already asked you to unsubscribe them from that list, and you continue to send them information, you are breaching that, and you can be fined a lot of money for that breach, a lot of money. So what we'll do is we'll come up with perhaps best practice around things, but you will need to invest in a cloud database of some kind to store all of your data. If you don't want to do that and you want to keep it all hard copies of everything, and obviously if you go to a solicitor's office, they're going to have hard copies. If you compare it to something like a solicitor's office, they're going to have hard copies, but they are locked away under double lock and key. So that's the other option, double lock and key, or a cloud database. And I think which I prefer really. Secondly, for example, I meet Paul at a networking event. Paul gives me his card. I think Paul's business will be good for somebody else. I can't just go and give Paul's business card to somebody else. I have to ask Paul if it's okay if I give it to this other person. And so you have to be very mindful now of how you introduce.
It's going to be a massive change, isn't it? Like,
it's a huge change. It's absolutely a huge change.
I think for us anyway, the fact that we're so compliant as a business, because there's going to be a lot of companies out there that won't do this or won't understand it or don't know anything about it, and there's going to be a lot of people that do get in trouble. So the fact that you've mentioned that tonight, and we've spoken, like myself and Helen have spoken about it already. Once we've got any updated information, then we'll probably do a call for that as well, that we can get down into the teams. So yeah, very good question to ask tonight as well. So yeah, we'll come back to that as well. Right, it's 22, so I know we've gone over a little bit, but I appreciate everyone jumping on. We'll be back Monday for our opportunity call. We are looking at putting more opportunity calls on during the week as well. So, I'm going to sit down with Ben, and we'll probably get on a call with the other leaders as well and work out a best practice, maybe do one or two during the day that suits the stay-at-home mums and the shift workers, maybe looking at doing something for the weekend as well. Next Thursday, Anne Ralston will be on, so that will definitely be one that you want to get onto. The president's wife herself, at the time, single mother of four, made 7 million in the industry. So definitely an inspiring woman. We'll get an updated Australian call timetable this weekend as well. If you've got any Australian contacts, Austin's doing an opportunity call on 11 o'clock Sunday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time. It's midnight our time. So if you've got anyone from the Australian market, get them on a call. 11 o'clock in the morning Australian time. But as always, guys, appreciate you jumping on this Thursday night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good week. Have a great weekend. And we'll be back on Monday night. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you and good night.